Hello, welcome back to the Deeper Yes. I'm so glad that you've come back or you're visiting us for the first time. And today we're going to talk about peace over noise, listening to one voice, quieting out all that noise that might even be good information, but that can be distracting and take away from really what our plan and our purpose is in life. I think all of us are craving that. We're craving this peace over noise. And so that's what I really want to talk to you about today. This isn't the kind of peace, by the way, that only happens when everything goes right. This is the kind of peace that happens even when life is feeling crazy, overwhelming, chaotic. We've got all this input coming at us, and like I said, it might be really good input, but it's a lot of input. So it could be people's opinions, it could be people's expectations of us, it could be the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, it could be the pressure that's just building up inside, outside, around us. It could just be the pressure of trying to get everything right. And here's what I want you to know, and what I experienced in my own story that I was sharing a little bit with you last week. Our bodies feel that. It senses that. Our nervous systems feel that, and they sense that. And so for many of us as women, especially those of us, I'm in this camp that are dealing with chronic illness, we're dealing with inflammation, we're dealing with autoimmune issues, burnout even. That noise isn't just in our minds and our heads, but it's really, like I said, it's settling into our nervous system. So we're on edge, we're staying on edge. We're tired, we're fatigued, we're dragging, we're staying braced always for like, what's the next thing that's going to happen? And we find ourselves saying, let's just push through. I'm just going to keep pushing through. I know I can get to the other side of this. I know things will get better if I can just do this, X, Y, Z. If I could just check this next thing off on my box. But here's the thing, peace doesn't come from pushing through harder. It comes from listening differently. And for me, that peace began when I really realized that I needed to do that. I needed to stop taking in so much more information, like I said, even good information from all the influencers, from friends, from family, well-meaning, from all the reels I was watching, from all the deep dive research I was doing. It was just time to quiet that and use discernment. Yeah. And so where does that come from? Well, I'm going to share that with you. For me, discernment comes from listening to one voice and from the Lord. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. So I just needed to allow myself to create some more space, to be still, to rest, to be willing to pause instead of constantly reacting, right? So being quiet. So there's this idea of like, do we react or do we respond to situations that we're dealing with, or just ourselves and what we're dealing with internally? There is a verse, Philippians 4:7. It says, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And I love that verse. I love it so much because it doesn't mean that it's just coming, like I said, when everything is going great. It means even in the midst of the situation, the circumstance, the chaos, the stress, whatever it is, that I can experience peace when I seek the Lord and allow Him to be the strength when I am weak. So, I don't know, you might want to just write that verse on a little post-it note and keep it near your computer or near your cell phone. Maybe you make it your little screen that pops up when you open your phone. Maybe it's near a mirror when you're getting ready in the day. Maybe it's in the kitchen when you're washing dishes. But that verse, when you just let it seep into your pores, I really believe will help to transform your mind and allow you to start experiencing discernment. And what I love about that is I've learned that peace doesn't come in real loudly and shouting at you. It's just this still, quiet whisper. It doesn't compete with all that outside noise, and it's waiting for us to turn ourselves over towards it and really kind of yield to it, to be honest. When I started learning about the nervous system, because I was working hard to heal myself from the inside out, and I knew it wasn't just physically, I knew it was emotionally, I knew it was spiritually, and I really started doing a digging into the nervous system, something really clicked for me spiritually too. So I needed healing on all those levels. And what I learned is our bodies are really designed for safety, for rest, and for connection to the Lord, but also connection to other human beings, right? And when we really take the time and give ourselves permission to slow down, even just a little bit, we give ourselves permission to feel again and to notice again and to listen again. So sometimes that listening is in your body or to your body. Sometimes it's in your heart. And like I said, sometimes it's really just listening to God. And so not in a dramatic lightning bolt kind of way, but in a quiet sense, that just began to feel right and feel peaceful. And I no longer had this sense of constantly feeling like I had to do, and check off boxes and check off boxes and check off boxes, right? I was able to start to have discernment like, oh, that's really good information that I'm reading or learning about, but that is not necessarily something I need to be doing right now, applying to my life. Maybe I'll just tuck that away in a little file. And when I need that information, I can take some action into it. And then it just really helped me to make decisions on what was important in that moment and what needed to just be put to the side for a little while. So that's what I mean by discernment, right? Really just gaining insight and wisdom in what to listen to and what not to listen to, even all the good information. Because what happened to me and what happens to many of us as women is we start taking in all this really good, valid information about how to be still, how to be quiet, how to heal, how to create longevity, how to age gracefully. The list goes on. And then all of a sudden we're back in that pressure cooker of like, we have to do it all. And if we don't do it all, then we're not doing it right. And so it becomes this just constant like hamster wheel, and all that we're doing is keeping our nervous system way up here jacked up and on high alert, and our cortisol gets high, and we can't experience the quietness and the healing that we need to experience and that God has for us. So that's what I mean about like, let's figure out how to discern what is good and we need to put action to, and what maybe we just need to file away for a little bit. And that's the whole quieting noise and listening to one voice instead of listening to all of the voices, even as well intentioned as they are. So peace over noise doesn't mean withdrawing from life. I hope you're not hearing me say that, because that's not what I'm saying. It means actually choosing the voice that gets access to you. It means letting go of that urgency, letting go of feeling like we have to prove ourselves to everybody else and to the world, letting go of the belief that your worth is only dependent on that constant input or that constant input and that constant proving yourselves to everybody else and accomplishing things and achieving achievements. It's not only based on achievements. So sometimes we just need to let go of that a little bit. So I want to leave you with this so that you on your own can just sit quietly and process maybe some of this information. Ask yourself this, maybe jot this question down and take time to be honest with yourself and answer it. What voice has been the loudest in your life lately? What voice are you giving all your power and energy to? And what voice are you being invited to listen to maybe instead? You don't have to answer that like I said right now. I just want you to pay attention to it. I just want you to take a little pause in your day or your week and listen to it and think about it and ponder on it. And maybe answer it for yourself. And maybe it will just put some things into perspective. Because here's what I want to remind you of. Peace isn't earned. It's not something you earned. It's not another box you need to check off. It's something that you're going to allow to come into your life and take root. All right. Well, listen, I want to just thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me again today on the Deeper Yes. And I'm hoping that this landed with you. I'm hoping it resonated with you. And I'm hoping that not only for yourself, but maybe you're thinking about someone else in your life that you love and you adore and that is special to you, and that maybe this might land with them and cause them to pause and think and be still, and maybe just change a little bit of the direction that they're moving in so that peace and quietness can overtake them as well. And we're going to calm our nervous systems together, and we're going to heal together, and we're going to continue to dig deep into the deeper yes. So thanks so much for spending time with me. Please, again, like I said, if this lands with you at all, subscribe to my channel, and please share it with someone that you love and adore and is important to you. Have a beautiful week.